Legacy is important, not just for myself and my children, but for my family as a whole. I think about what it's like to witness 4 generations living and thriving. My grandma, I just love her. She just brightens me from the inside out. What she's done my entire life and those that came before me, these past 4th generations, I understand that legacy is very important and how impactful it can be, because a lot of what she goes off of came before her. And although I didn't get to meet my great-greats and great-great-greats, they lived through her. So to be a part of continuing that legacy and also building and starting my own in ways, it's amazing. I'm very thankful to have the chance. And I know that it's going to do so many great things for the generations that's to come. We're changing history here.
So Sharday is a wonderful person. She's someone that inspires me. She's steadfast. She's determined. When she puts her mind to something, she's going to do it.
She was so genuine from the moment that she came in. And so, yeah, that was my first impression of her, is just she just had a very genuine heart.
You just kind of know when someone's special, when there's something about them that stands out, and you have this feeling in your heart that I need to know this person and she needs to be in my circle. Sharday was that for me.
When Sharday first came into our program, she had gone through a lot of trauma. And I don't think she realized at the time the effect of that trauma.
My beginning, my home was very different than the one that I want to give to my children. There's nothing like knowing you're safe when you come home, or that there's even a safe home to come to.
There's a saying, there's 3 pits in life: the one you're born into, the one you fall into, and the one you get pushed into. She's been in all of them. I mean, who hasn't? I think all of us could raise our hand to that.
The world itself can be mean, it can be tough, it can be hard. What's different about my story is the heaviness, the trauma stemmed from my home. Mistakes were made by those that were supposed to protect me. And trauma was from the home that I had. Growing up, I was taught false beliefs that I was a burden or almost a nuisance. I never felt that I belonged in the home. Things looked picture perfect from the outside in. Looking in, they weren't. And eventually, I ended up hitting a breaking point. I am a recovering alcoholic. I went off to school, I ended up having my daughter, and I moved back home, which is where the trauma and the brokenness reigned. It was family. It was home. I knew I had this precious child of mine, but my state mentally, I was done. Added in the trauma and then the addiction that presented itself. I got to a point where ultimately didn't want to live. I'll never forget, I was just out. My family didn't know where I was, and I was contemplating, just jumping off a bridge and ending it. But I decided not to, couldn't really tell you why, I just began to walk. I ended up at a fire station. My mom was called. My mom and I ended up having a conversation. Sunned up, she let me know I couldn't walk for you when you were learning to walk. Couldn't talk for you when you were learning to talk. She's like, I want you here, but I can't decide to live for you. And she just was like, you're gonna have to make the decision if you want to live or not. So I chose to live. After deciding to live, I sought out treatment, and treatment led me to Hickory. There, I began to live. I began to understand me. I began to work through everything that I had been through to see and realize that there was a light on the other end of the tunnel. The program I was in, children weren't allowed. And I had to make a decision to let Marley stay with my mother while I got better. One of the hardest things I ever had to do. But I am definitely grateful that I decided to surrender ultimately and live in acceptance. From there, I began to get up on my feet. After about a year, my daughter was back with me and we started building a home here in Hickory. I just believe it was destined. I don't even know where the thought came from when we moved into the apartment we're in now that said the next time we move, it's going to be into our home. I'm not sure, but it's happening.
Sharday's reaction finding out she was going to own a home through Habitat was ecstatic. I don't know that she's even off cloud 9 now. I don't think it'll hit her till the day she's unpacking, that this is where she's really at. I would consider it literally like scratching off a lottery ticket and finding out you just won $1 million.
You know, I was in my office at work and, you know, my coworkers thought I was half crazy because I was in there crying, you know, thanking Jesus. New possibilities, you know, a new perspective on life. Like this is possible. This can actually happen. This is happening, you know? Just
The other day I was at Safe Harbor actually, and I just saw her house, and it's coming, you know, it's coming together. And so I'm like, there it is, you know, it's like the goal she set out for herself is sitting right there. And so I've been able to just, again, really just observe, you know, and encourage her and pray for her along the way. Love having a front row seat to a story of victory, right?
I can't imagine for her what that has meant with facing homelessness, transitioning, being in several different programs and stuff. I mean, this is huge for her.
I feel like it come for full circle, you know. She went through this program, worked hard, and it's almost like it's come in stages. And she started out helping other people trying to find housing and all of that, and now it's her turn. It's her turn to have that. So super excited for her.
Okay, out here, I am really excited. When God led me to Hickory, and I was a part of the Safe Harbor program, which is right over there, I remember how beautiful the sunsets were, and they blew my mind. And he's brought it full circle. I get to sit on my porch in my own home and watch the same sunset. It's exciting. I can't wait to be out here with the kiddos.
She is so excited about moving in and starting her new life there and having a home of her own to be able to raise her children in, and, you know, just having that place that she can come to each and every day. It's exciting for me to watch her have good things happening in her life and her work, hard work, paying off.
I think this house will change the life of Sharday, Zion, and Marley in ways like stableness. This is a place I can call home. I don't have to worry about somebody taking it away from me. And I think it gives them a sense of security in the way that I can go in the direction I'm supposed to go in and I can work my job. But if something happens to me or I lose my job, I still have my house. I can negotiate. I have a place to live.
Knowing that my children are loved, protected, means everything to me because I didn't have that growing up. You know, I've helped to break many generational curses that ran rampant in my family for years. And changing the structure of the home and the foundation is something that I've been able to do with my children, regardless of my past.
I mean, I don't believe anything happens by coincidence, and I believe that Sharday's done all the work. Sorry.
Having a home is life-changing. It's not just a place where I can say I have a house. It's about more than just walls. It's about the lives that are there, mine and my children. Being able to grow and keep going together, it's amazing. I mean, my words really don't do it justice.
It will change the trajectory of Marley and Zion's life going forward, because that's what homeownership does. It, you know, a secure and safe place to live does change the trajectory of someone's life. And so also for her children to see this as an accomplishment, you know, I'm sure that Marley sees her mom as a determined, you know, hardworking young woman, and being able to see this come to fruition probably will change the way that Marley views herself as well and what she's able to do.
I recently graduated with my associate's degree. At the end, you know, well, I'm out and my family's still inside. And I'm like, hey, where are y'all at? And they're like, taking pictures. So I go back in and I see my bishop, my first lady, my grandma, my mom, my sister, the kiddos, and we start giving out hugs. And at this point, my daughter and I, we just lock eyes. And she just runs into my arms. She holds on and she just begins to cry, and I'm crying. And a moment in time became full circle. Remembering the beginning, understanding what we had to do to get through, and seeing where we are now is just life-changing. And I look forward to those full circle moments that will continue to happen, in time.
The legacy of being a homeowner for Sharday is going to far outreach anything she'll see in her lifetime. It will build for Marley. It's going to give her a great sense of security for a young girl that's had kind of an up and down life by no fault of her own. It gives you a chance to look back and go, well, this is hard and this is not easy, but look at what my mom survived and look at what my mom came through. And hopefully I hope for them that they can see the warrior their mom is. It's very important. She didn't just make some mistakes. She didn't just have a bad deal. She overcame it. She said, no, this is not who I am. This is not my purpose. I have a greater calling. And she just shouts that from every piece of her. I love it.
She's a survivor, but not just a survivor. She thrives. Definitely think she's building a legacy with just the way that she loves well.
The kind of legacy I want to leave behind is a legacy, love, hope, resilience, and strength. Our foundation embodies all of that wholeheartedly. And I want that legacy to continue through time for my family and the family that's still to come and the family that is today. We just live in a state of hope because we know what can happen and look forward to what's to come.